And joining us now to Belfast for more on the story is Saeb, Shaath, author and Middle East affairs expert. Hello, Mr. Shaath. Always a pleasure to have you on Press TV and get your perspective on things. Now, my question to you, Mr. Shaath, we know that Palestinians always seem to get the short end of the stick when it comes to U.S. support for Israel. But why does it seem the last 4 years have been exceptionally horrible for Palestinians?
Since the administration of President Trump and the climbing to power by MBS Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, and that the cooperation between the Gulf states, a lot of Gulf states, not just the United Arab Emirates, with the Zionist entity, and after the Arabic Spring, the Obama administration trying as well to help in developing kind of psychological warfare against the Arabs and in installing a new enemy to them instead of the Zionist entity. They made a collection with the Sunni Muslims of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states who they are fighting in Yemen and allying themselves to the Zionist entity, and in that they, with their war in Yemen, they are focusing like the one behind Yemen is Iran, and Iran is the enemy. And in that, the Saudi Arabia declared the Palestinian resistance, Hamas and other movements are terrorists. Hezbollah is terrorists, and they were fighting anybody supporting actually from the workers, Palestinian workers in Saudi Arabia. Any Palestinians supported the Palestinian resistance were arrested and deported from United Arab Emirates or from Saudi Arabia. So this is a part of their move. This is why in the last 4 years the Palestinian getting the short end of the stick, as you indicated.
And how do you gauge the Palestinians feel that this deal between the United Arab Emirates and the Israeli regime was a stab in the back? How do you interpret, to what level, the magnitude of that stab in the back? How do you gauge it? Is it a small stab in the back, or is it an atrocious stab in the back, and why?
You see, first of all, I'm going to get quick to me. I see quick points. The United Arab Emirates and these Gulf states are involved in relationship even before the formation of United Arab Emirates with the Zionist entity. From the 60s, they were supporting the Israelis, the Saudis in their war in Yemen and getting at the Egyptian army and involving it in Yemen. And in 1967 war, Egypt wasn't defended well because most of the Egyptian army was fighting in Yemen, the Saudis and the Israelis, intelligence services and support, and the British services as well, intelligence services in there. So this was going on from the 60s. Today, we can see the effect of it is being exposed. People should know these countries always part of the Zionist coalition. We call them the Arab Zionists. It's not about they telling the Palestinians, we are your brothers and we are supporting you. They were lying to them. They were always stabbing the Palestinians in the back. How serious this, it was showed in the meeting which held in Ramallah under the umbrella of the PLO. When you say Hamas and the Islamic Jihad attending that meeting as a part of this umbrella group, which is led by Mahmoud Abbas, and they want, and the language was very strong language declared by the PLO and by Mahmoud Abbas when they said there is no niceties in the language, there is no diplomatic language used. Abbas said it straight away, this is stabbing in the back, this is betrayal, and the PLO said at the same thing, this position, a strong position of the PLO and the Islamic Jihad and Hamas will be same against any Arabic or Islamic country dares to normalize the relationship with the Zionist entity. So the position is strong, and you see the Palestinians gathering their forces to fight such normalization agreements and to tell the Arabic public opinion these regimes are betraying us. And that's, you can see what happened in Sudan when the spokesman of the Foreign Affairs declared nothing wrong and Sudan will be following suit, and then the foreign minister declared their position, this is not going to be like that. And then Saudi Arabia as well emphasized, it's not going to normalize relationship with the Zionist entity, and it's against what the United Arab Emirates has done. So there is some ramification for this Palestinian stand.
Thank you. Like always, it's a pleasure to get your perspective on things out of Belfast. Mr. Saeb Shaath, author and Middle East affairs expert there.